Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Prison Architect. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day because I'm certainly excited to be back. Right off the bat, I do just want to mention that I'm a little bit sick at the moment, so my voice is not doing so good. I have a sore throat. I almost completely lost my voice a couple of days ago. If you tuned into the past City Skyline stream on Sunday, the something of December 2nd or something like that, you will have heard just how bad my voice was. It is getting better. It's not quite there yet. So hopefully soon it will be. I also want to take a moment and give a shout out to Tats over on my Discord server. I mentioned in the previous episode about remembering some suggestions and comments. I couldn't remember where I'd remembered them from. That's a lot of use of the word remember right there. I couldn't remember exactly where those suggestions had come from, but I went through Discord and found your suggestion from last Thursday, the 29th of November, and you mentioned that we should get more cookers and fridges and more serving tables, and also that we can go into the needs tab under reports to see why exactly my prisoners might be annoyed. And apparently, hygiene is a big one. We don't have shower time. We don't actually have shower time. Interesting. All right, in the evening, they're going to get forced shower time, is what they're going to do. They're going to be forced to get a shower. In fact, what if we go ahead and say that you can have 1 hour less of work and then some mandatory shower time? I realize that that's been in there and I've completely overlooked it. So let's have shower time be completely mandatory to make sure that they are staying nice and clean. And let's get that out of the way just to see if that'll keep them a little bit calmer. Tats also suggested firing some janitors to save on some expenses, especially since we have prisoners working in places like the cleaning cupboards. So I've actually gone ahead and done that. I fired about 15 of them, which will save me, I believe, $750, which is better than nothing at all. So we got rid of some janitors as well. We also have a bunch of the workmen heading out here and chopping down a bunch of trees, because of course we do. We don't actually have that much money floating about at the moment. So going ahead and getting some money in from exports would be fantastic. I'm also realizing that, I mean, we have mandatory shower time, but free time also seems to be... You know what? Let's say that that's going to be mandatory yard time right there. Actually, no. You know what? In the mornings, they're not going to have super long, like super amounts of time for showering. That's what we're going to do. We're going to say that you can shower in your free time if you want, but in the evening, that's your mandatory shower. Now, let's see. We have some prisoners coming in, which is absolutely beautiful. That's going to be minimum security, I believe. Let's have a little look. It absolutely is minimum security, so they'll all be taken in and processed ASAP. And we can also see down here in the bottom left, it is eat time. I want to see how many of the prisoners actually get fed. I imagine all these guys are being fed, which is great. But let's just take a little look at the needs and see in here. So hygiene is still not great. Luxuries is annoying them. In terms of my staff are actually furious about their bladder. Interesting. And then obviously, you know, bowels as well. It's kind of critical. Okay. So safety is kind of a big deal as well. That's interesting. So luxuries and like luxuries are kind of a big one. Recreation is kind of a big one. Hygiene is up there though. I think we can fix that eventually. In terms of food, it is climbing, I think. Actually, no, it's falling. There's actually a decent number of prisoners currently dealing with that, which is fantastic news. 57%, 58% have been fed. So I think the food situation's getting better. Luxuries is not going to be getting any better. Staff, bladder, and bowels is something that I think we do need to deal with. So how do we do that? Can we like build sort of a toilet thing sort of into the staff room here? Is that an option? I don't actually have the money to do that, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll head over here. We'll say get this all exported, and that way we can get some of that money. Oh wow, they're going through that really quickly there. Well, that's good news. At least we're not going to be spending too long getting all of the exports over here. And I'm also wondering if I'm kind of wondering if these toilets going in here will help the staff, because I've noticed they don't really seem to be using these ones over here, which it's not so good, is what that is. That is definitely not so good that they're not really using that one over there. Hopefully that'll happen at some point. That toilet is actually in, which is great. I'm noticing none of them actually using it, but it's there. Oh no, there we go. Hey, there you go. All right. So yeah, it does need to be in a staff room. All right. So what if we go and say, dismantle all of these doors. This is going to be really unpleasant in here. But dismantle all of those. Dismantle that. And dismantle that toilet as well. And then go to materials and demolish that wall. And then when that wall's demolished, what we can do is say, put a brick wall sort of... Oh, we don't have the money for... Oh my god, almost $5,000 in staff meals right there. That's a lot of money. Let's just go ahead and get some money back, because that was a lot of money right there on staff meals. At least they'll be happy. So yeah, we got a little bit of money here. Let's go back to materials, go to brick walls, and what I want to do is that right there. So that will be a staff room. That will be considered a staff room. It'll just sort of be mostly toilets. Now these guys are complaining quite a bit about hygiene right now. In terms of needs, hygiene is definitely up there. Hygiene is way, way up there, which is not good news at all. These guys do have showers, though. And I just want to make sure, in terms of... Oh, it's staff only. That explains a lot. That explains so much. So these guys can now go and use the shower. Why have I got a staff-only door on that? Wow, okay. That explains so much. So they can get themselves clean shortly. That'll be fine. In terms of food, actually a lot of them are eating right there. So once it goes to free time, if they're not working, they can totally go ahead and get into those showers. So that'll be great. Let me go ahead and just dismantle that sofa real quick. Oh, the minimum size isn't right on this room. Well, that's annoying. I mean, can I fix that? Can I go to, let's see, staff room here and say make it that size? Does that technically count as a staff room? It doesn't. Okay. Well, in that case, maybe just demolish the walls. Oh, he is using the toilet, though. Despite that not being a functional staff room. Interesting. All right, well, we'll get rid of all of that. We'll throw the sofa back in there. And oh, someone's broken something up here. Can we get a guard up that way? Would you mind going up there for me real quick and see what's going on? That is going to need to be repaired at some point. And I'm also thinking that we probably want to go to deployment. And during this time, we're going to want guards. Let's see. We're going to need a door on there. So let's just throw a normal door on there. And then deployment, guard patrols during this time. Let's have some guards just going around the showers. We'll go for 2 of them. And I think at all times maybe have a guard in the showers just to make sure. That way, you know, anything goes on, we'll have a guard up there. They can look around, they can see what's going on, and we can make sure that, you know, we can make sure that everything's fine. We can make sure no one's dying in the showers, being murdered. And hopefully we can get rid of all of those walls down there as well, or that bit of wall, so that, there we go. This little staff room should technically be a staff room, right? It absolutely is. As for the sofa, it'll go in next, and then that'll be a place that my guards can go and relieve themselves. All right, so that should keep them happy. Food-wise, I mean, I still don't think we're dishing out enough. I honestly don't think we're dishing out enough food here, because we're only in 14%, and we're almost an hour. We are an hour into the eating period here, so that's bad news. I mean, down here we've got, let's see. You guys are eating. You guys are you hungry? You are actually hungry. Why are you guys not working? Why does it look like there's no cooking going on in here whatsoever? That's a little bit of a worry, I'm gonna be honest. Like, these guys put out some soup, but over here, I mean, I don't know. I'm actually, that's interesting to me. I feel like we did not in any way have enough food for them there. Also, what time is it here? Deployment? Right here. And guard patrols. We are supposed to have a guard in there. Let's throw a guard in at this point, because we don't actually have a guard in there, and they are showering, so getting a guard into the showers would be great. It really would. Although I suppose, looking at the danger level, hygiene is definitely not a problem anymore. Food is up there, sleep is getting up there, family's not so great, luxuries are definitely not amazing. Bladder and bowels are still up there for the staff, but I mean, oh my god, there's so many of them in there. I mean, that will come down eventually, right? At some point. I mean, most of the staff can get in there and do their thing eventually. Now let's see, you've been found with something. You've overdosed? Oh my god. Oh, he's okay. There we go. Sloan, what are you doing? Get out of here. Go on. Go on, get. Let me also just prioritize moving all of this stuff out to exports again, just to be done with that. And I think it's fair to say, other than, you know, the broken cell up here, that's, what's your name? Paul Petite. That's a great name. What are you in for? Gross indecency? Ah, you've been in for a lot of things. You've been in for voyeurism, burglary, insider trading, video game piracy, voyeurism, bribery, and a gross indecency. Wow, okay. You've got your ex-wife, your 2 daughters and a son, and your father as well. Fair enough. We're also minus 15,000 in terms of expenses, which is great. That is just fantastic. So guard wages is way up there, staff wages as well. Workman wages is 10,000. We could probably easily cut that in half to, you know, bring the expenses way down. But I don't know if we need to. Because on one hand, I mean, 100 guards is costing us 10,000, but on the other, they can absolutely chop down trees extremely quickly. So it's, you know, you take the good with the bad, basically. And I think the trees probably outweigh the bad. So I think we're all right in that particular regard. Can we get someone up here to fix this? Like, can we prioritize all of that, please? Maybe I'll just go ahead and open that door for you. There you go. So just get that all fixed, open the door to let those guys out, and now Paul can go to bed. Alright, so that'll keep him happy. His bed's been fixed. These guys are actually already cooking, which is kind of crazy. But again, it looks like they're going really slowly. Well, I say that, they've just started going, but like these guys are cooking. Let's take a look. So if they're cooking, these guys are cooking as well. There's definitely a little bit less going on in there. These guys are actually starting to serve the food. These guys are, like, neither of these two. Okay, they're serving food. And now they're starting to as well. Okay, so the food is starting to go out. So why does it say, why is no one being fed? That's what I don't understand. I mean, we have all this food getting served. These guys are just, like, can we prioritize any work in there? See if that helps anything? I mean, again, it's being served. There's, you know, 10 cooked, 10 fried eggs, 14, 25 bacon, 10, whatever that was. And now the prisoners are coming around to get their breakfast. Actually, no, they're going to free time, which means shower in this particular case, by the looks of it. What on earth do... Number one, why do we not have guards over here properly? Number two, deployment, minimum security only, please. For some reason, it would appear that there's some medium security guys up here. Let's just say minimum security only on all of this. We also have another death row inmate coming in. That's interesting. What happened to our previous one? Was he... Oh! I think our previous death row inmate might very well have been taken out of death row. Okay. Well, that's done. That's good. This next one will hopefully have a much lower percentage so that I can, you know... I shouldn't say that, but I'd quite like to, you know, it'd be kind of neat to, you know, get death row going again. Now let's see. So on this bus, we have everybody coming out. Where's the death row inmate? Is he being taken into reception? Because I don't see him. Okay then. There he is, Jones, Simon Jones, sentenced to 70 years for murder, rape, and attempted murder. You have a wife, you have a daughter, a son, and a father. You've been in for voyeurism and rioting. You served 7 years for those. You've pled guilty to 2 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and 1 count of rape. You are at 34%. Likelihood of clemency is 34%. The state-approved conviction strength is 10%. Okay. Interesting. The chance of this prisoner being granted clemency is currently above the state-approved safe level. If you proceed, you will be held personally responsible if it's later found he would have been granted clemency. Interesting. So, the chance of clemency is 34%. It needs to be less than 10%. Alright then. That's not good. Also, just want to point out, 69% of prisoners have actually, 70% of prisoners have actually been fed there. That is definitely a better rate than what we had before. What is going on here? What do you want about? No free cells for this prisoner? Are you kidding me? Why did we bring them in then? Why are you in this cell? That's... Hello? Right, you need to be kicked out. Right? Like, you need to be moved into Supermax. And then put in lockdown for a while. So let's see if we can maybe... Why are there minimum security prisoners in here? Or not minimum, like normal. Can we, like, throw you in solitary or something? Is that an option? Permanent solitary? Tell you what, you're going to permanent solitary. We've had a slight... There has been a slight mix-up. And as a result, there are multiple prisoners that we need to sort of have slip through the cracks, as it were. That's essentially where we're at. We need these prisoners to disappear, and fortunately, we have the ability to make that happen. So we're going to make these prisoners disappear, is what we're going to do. So let's move them into permanent solitary. And I'd also really like to see about getting my... I'm noticing most of my guards are actually working. Now, they're all obviously working. What I mean is they're all doing things, which is not ideal when it comes to getting these guys to move around. I'm also thinking we have some money here. I need to connect up these metal detectors down here. So we'll get that done so these guys can't sneak things in and out. And also, is the workshop actually up and running? It looks like we do have some stacks of wood around here, so it is entirely possible that the workshop is actually running, which is fantastic. Now you've been brought into your cell. You're being brought into your cell, and pretty sure you're being moved off to permanent solitary. That is, well, yeah, sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. Let me see. Oh, wow, we just spent a lot of money. We're finding a lot of things, I'm noticing. We are finding a lot of things, which I'm not too happy about. I'm wondering how all these things are being brought into the prison, if I'm completely honest. Also, we do have visitation up here, don't we? We absolutely do. So Alexander's mother is currently waiting for him. There he is. So that'll keep him happy. Tell you what, while we've got a little bit of money, let's go to materials. Let's go to wood floors. And let's say that that side of visitation can have nice wood floors. And that this side over here can have, well, I was going to say ceramic, but that's not going to happen. Let's go to exports and let's make it happen, though. So just sell all of these. Just like so. Clear out every single one of them to get myself a little bit of money. And that means we can come over here with materials, go to the nice ceramic floor, and we can throw the ceramic floors into this side of visitation. So now that that's in, I kind of want to go to reception, and I pretty much want to do the same thing all around here. I think the staff room here can have a nice wooden floor. I think this security room can have some nice white tiles. I think storage could maybe go for... Let's go for the metal floor in storage, because that seems like what you want. We'll do metal in there as well. This kitchen could maybe do with some nice white tiles, and I think that'll be the same in the kitchen over here as well. We could probably do the same in the showers. We'll go for nice white tiles. The common room, I'm going to say, is going to have some wooden floors, even though it's a bit expensive. The library and the chapel can both have wooden floors as well. Staff room's gonna have wood floors, and we're pretty much broke, so we'll let the workers do that, and then the rest of it can come later when we get a bit more money. But I think having the two different types of floor in here is gonna look kind of decent. I think it makes sense as well. You know, the visitor side is all nice and pleasant. The prisoner side, on the other hand, distinctly more gray is what we're going for there. Distinctly more gray. That out here is quite gray as well and relatively miserable. And I'm actually thinking down here, we have actually got stuff down here. So we've got all the different types of floor we're going to need. And we're still losing heaps of money, but I think the occasional bit of intake combined with all of the exports that we do is keeping us nicely above water. Let's just go and clear out a bunch of these trees out front. Let's do a big old strip of them down here. And a big old strip of them back here. And then take out all of these as well. There's still a decent number of trees to tear out of all that space. But I want to see if I can just clear almost all of them, really. I mean, it's never going to happen. They'll just regrow quicker than we can clear them. But, you know, most of them. We'll clear most of them. So there we go. That'll clear a decent amount of them. That'll get us more exports and that'll keep everyone nice and happy. In terms of feeding the prisoners at night, it actually looked like we only fed near 40% of them. That's actually very bad news, because that means that they're probably going to be a little bit annoyed. I mean, if we have a look at needs, There's only 20 that say they can't meet that need. And I don't know who that 20 are going to end up being. That's kind of the worry. Also, in terms of staff, are they? Yeah, they're getting there with the old turlet. They're definitely getting there. I think it's fair to say the staff could probably use a bigger set of toilets. So maybe we go and dismantle that door. Maybe we go to materials and demolish that wall. Maybe throw some brick wall in here when we get a chance, and we'll just extend this to be essentially a massive toilet for the staff. That is pretty much what this is going to be. And I know I don't need to put the walls around it. I could probably get away with doing this in a much more efficient way if I didn't do that with the walls. But I kind of want to do that just because I like it looking good. So we might very well end up trying to design an actual sort of nice looking toilet in here. I say nice looking, that's subjective to say the least, but nice looking nonetheless. Let's see, if I was to do a wall there, and I was to say, do some walls like this, that'll at least give us 6 more toilets, which is certainly something. We can go to rooms, we can go to staff room, and we can extend the whole thing down here, which is technically fine. We can go to drink machine, and we can maybe move that, or not. We can't actually afford to move it. So can we dismantle this, please? As quickly as possible. There we go. Then reinstall it there as quickly as possible. This wall goes in. That gives us room for toilets down there, and that'll be, you know, the massive pooper is basically what it is. That's the official name for it. That is the government-sanctioned name for that kind of staff room. It is the massive pooper. All right. If it's not obvious, if it's not obvious, I'm quite sick at the moment. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm a madman. I need to be stopped. I'm out of control. There we go. We'll throw those in there. We'll get some pipes leading down there. Just like so. And that should be pretty good. That will hopefully help the staff to be a little bit happier. They're probably going to want some lights in there, though, now that I think about it. So, let's get some of those in, just to brighten the place up a little bit. And yeah, that should deal with a lot of their needs. That should keep them fairly happy. Now we do have $22,000, with which I'd kind of like to get more floors in here. So let's say the canteen is going to have the ceramic floor, which is $50. No wonder I've been going broke with this thing. The staff canteen can have the marble tiles. They're much, much cheaper. So that'll be fine for those. This over here, since it's a different type of staff room, can have those tiles as well. This classroom can have wooden floors. This in here, since it's a power room, can have metal floors. And then I think it's just the hallways, which well, actually no, down here as well. Let's just go for the white tiles on these, and then the hallways are just going to be mosaic, I think. Not that they're necessarily going to be cheap, but they're definitely going to be cheaper than, you know, any other material. So throw all of the mosaic tiles in there. Let's maybe get some ceramic floor just under the... You know what, actually? Let's do metal floors under there. Because I can. And then the mosaic needs to come down here as well. And then it needs to go down here, which we can't afford. So that's fine. That's still a lot of work for the workmen to do. They're still clearing out a bunch of trees. They're still bringing us in a bunch of money. So that's fine. That's totally okay. There we go. Whole bunch of money already. These guys are all heading off for their free time, which is beautiful to see. Let's see if we can maybe just throw in the mosaic over here. And the mosaic just all around here as well. I don't think I'm going to be able to afford it, but you never know. Let's see. No, actually cannot afford that. All right, that's fine. It's actually coming together already, which is fantastic. And we should be able to afford the rest of it if I just go and say, you know, sell all of that. All right. Materials, mosaic. Let's come up here and throw it in this side and throw it in this side. And I think that'll be everywhere. Oh, what is going on? Oh, no, no. There was definitely some frustrations that built up there. I think it was largely related to the fact that they couldn't get to their food. And in saying that, we have only fed 31% of them. So it seems like the cooks we have are still not quite as good as they maybe should be. Which is very bad news, really. That is very bad news. So here's hoping we can solve that problem. I'm also realizing just how good the metal floors look to break up like interior tiles and exterior tiles. They look really, really good there. I might do that on all of my my doorways. Apparently, technically can't do it there though. I guess that's technically outside. Interesting. All right, well, we'll do some nice metal sort of flooring there. Can't do it there either. All right, what about down here? So we've actually got insufficient funds for this. Really? It's kind of surprising. A lot of these cells are actually kind of wrecked, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. The prisoners are already annoyed. We're going to do a shakedown. The prisoners are already incredibly upset, so we're going to just search everything and everyone, and we're going to see what's actually got them really annoyed and what they're trying to hide. I'm also somewhat aware that we're probably going to end up with some deaths off of this, if we're completely honest. Because, I mean, if we're being real, I mean, yeah, these guys here are unconscious. There's tasers firing off left, right, and center in here. I don't know what that guy was even doing. Are they just tasing people to shoot them? That actually seems like it might be what's going on. This guy's in a fist fight. That's great. You do have... Yeah, you do have a stab vest. Okay, it doesn't have a taser, though. These guys over here are not doing so good either. Yeah, the guards are having a very interesting time. There's 5 minimum security prisoners coming in tomorrow. I'm assuming that's because a bunch of them have been moved up into normal security. I mean, normal security, maximum, and supermax, they don't mind all of this. And then obviously protective custody are fine as well. Speaking of which, informants. Let's have a little look here. So ex-law enforcement. Who's ex? You're ex-law enforcement? Right, you. You need to be moved into protective custody. Let's see. Extremely strong, fearless, stoical. Let's see up here. Anything? Skilled fighter. We don't know a lot about these guys. This guy's a snitch, though. So we're going to have you moved into protective as well. And I'll tell you what we can do. Let's activate all of the confidential informants. And see what kind of info we get from all of them. But we do want to make sure that snitches and ex-law enforcement, they need to be moved into protective custody at all times. We actually can... Oh, hello. We have ex-law enforcement in here. I'm not sure who we're looking at, though. We are going to want to get you. It's kind of hard to say. Was it you? I think it might be. It absolutely was. All right. So we'll get ex-law enforcement. Moved as quickly. He is a target. He's been marked as a target. We've also got a snitch in here. They are absolutely targets. Let's get them moved quick as we can. So this guy's a target as well. He is already good to move. Let's see. You're a target. You are a target too. But they are being moved. They are all being moved. So anyone with a target on their back is basically someone that needs to go into protective custody. Wouldn't it be interesting if someone gets moved to protective custody and gets murdered up there? Or down there, I guess, is the way to say it. That would be the ultimate twist. It really would. That really would be the the ultimate twist. I'm finally safe in protective custody. Fantastic. Well, this is unfortunate. I seem to have been murdered. That would be a twist. Definitely a twist. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be that guy. You would not want to be that guy. What's going on with you? Seriously injured, you're going to cell, you attacked staff. You're going to be in solitary for a while. Oh dear. You know, I'm actually thinking we could totally build like a dedicated solitary space. That's kind of tempting, actually. Let me see here. Let me go to planning. Let me go to walls. And let's say we do something like this, right? A dedicated sort of facility. It comes up. It goes across. Actually, no. We'll go, let's see. We'll go here, I think. Right? So this right here could be like a little storage room or something like that. I don't know what that'll necessarily be. Huh. I don't know. Maybe we'd do this slightly differently. We come up. We have security doors there and there. And then we have... Let's see. So 2 and there. And 2 and then a gap. 2 and there. 2 and a gap. 2. We should have started this from the other side, actually. Let's actually make this really cramped. Let's make this, like, extremely, extremely cramped, just to make it even more unpleasant. So like that. And then basically this. So each of those little spaces is a solitary cell. And technically, each of those little spaces also needs a solitary door, which is quite expensive, but I think this would be a very interesting way to do solitary confinement. A dedicated building away from all of the other ones. I mean, because you have to get escorted out here, don't you? It's not, you can't get here unless a guard brings you out here. So, I mean, that's kind of the most secure way to do it. And then there's obviously fences around everything anyway, so I think that might be the way to go. So let's get those foundations up. Let's go for a concrete building. Right there. Let's go to materials. And let's say object, sorry. Let's see. Large jail door. Oh, it can't even be placed yet. All right. Let's prioritize that work and get it done as quickly as we can. Let's also end the shakedown just because we've found everything we're going to need. And yeah, these guys can work on that. We'll get that to be solitary. And then we can basically just move solitary out of these spaces down here. Now, you are starving at the minute. That's interesting. Can we end your punishment and let you be taken back to your cell block? Because we probably don't want to have someone... Like, I understand he did... I don't know what he did. But I'd also really like him to not be starving. You know what I mean? Like that's not good. That's really not good. If an inspector comes by, then suddenly, you know, that's a bad thing. You know, now that this is actually built, it looks kind of terrifying in a way. It is literally just this big gray box. It is going to have lights in there. We are running power to it at the moment, which is taking a while, as it usually does in Prison Architect, but it's still just a big gray box, and that's actually kind of exactly what I wanted it to be, so I'm happy about that. I'm excited to see what comes of it, really. I'm excited to see it, you know, really fill up and really live up to, you know, what it's gonna be as solitary confinement. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also thinking I'm gonna get rid of solitary down here and boot those guys out. If any of these guys, I don't think I ever built more solitary other than the ones in there, so this is gonna become very, very useful. I'm also realizing I can totally, hold on a minute, what is this? You are alright. He's just got his wee little butt out there. What are you complaining about? There are no free cells. Maximum security. Alright, get up into Supermax then. Let's move him up into Supermax. That's no problem. That's no big deal. Let's go to Objects, Dismantle. And I'd like to dismantle those doors, because those doors are actually super expensive. So, you know, dismantling those will get me some doors available for the new place, which will be great. And then we can start moving people into it, which will also be great. I actually did go ahead and hire more guards as well. We're up to 160. We still need more than that. We actually still need more than 160 guards. So I'm going to prioritize the exports over here, and then I'm going to see if I can get to like 200 guards. I don't think we need 200 guards, but whatever. It's kind of fun. It'll be fun having 200 guards. I just want to make sure we have enough people to, enough staff to actually maintain the new solitary space. Because if we don't, then really, what's the point? You know, that's the real question. If we don't have enough guards, what really is the point? Now let's see. So we want to do some doors down here to start with. So just all of those. And then a bunch of solitary doors along here as well. And that'll give us all of those cells. We're going to need serious money to actually get all of these cells up and running. But I think this is going to look pretty good. This is going to do the job for sure. I don't know what you guys are all doing. I think they might just be moving some of the wood around, which is fair enough. It does need to go out to export, so we'll get them doing that. We'll make some serious money. We'll get all the doors in, and I'm excited, man. I want to see this place. I want to see this place running at capacity someday. I mean, it's never going to. I can't imagine it's ever going to run at capacity. I don't know how many of these cells we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 48. 60? We have 60 of them in there? Yeah, I think we have 60 solitary cells. Which is just a lot. That's so many. That's so many more than I think we're ever going to need, but it'll send a message. I think it'll send the right kind of message to all of our prisoners. I think that message is, you know, don't mess about. I think that message is, you know, don't be a silly bugger, and you'll not get thrown into solitary. Right? I think that's the message. I think that's the takeaway. So let's get the rest of these doors in. And I think we might have enough to get at least a few more of these in. And go 1, 2. Oh, we need another. We need another $400. Come on. Sell objects. There we go. And solitary door. Let's throw it just up there. All right. So get all those doors installed. And that'll be all of the solitary cells up and running. And if I come over here and sell the little bit of wood that we have lying around, I can absolutely go ahead and say, go to staff, go to guards. Let's hire, I don't know, let's see how many we can get. 174 at the minute, that's not bad. So we should see, if I've done deployment right, there should be guards patrolling right now. There don't seem to be guards patrolling right now, but there should be. Either way, I mean, it looks to me like Solitary's got the doors sorted. Can we sell a bit more wood to get some flooring in there? There's actually none over there, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I like this though. I think that makes sense. I think that's like kind of the final upgrade needed for this original cell block. You know, move Solitary out of there, get it into its own dedicated building. Really just pack them in there. That's really what we're going for. Like they are packed in there like sardines. They have no space to move around. This guy here actually has no free cells. Interesting. Let's move him into minimum security, which is a downgrade for sure, but it'll have a free cell for him. No free cells for you either. So we'll move you into maximum. You're already in maximum. We'll do normal then. No free cells there either. All right, super max it is. No free cells for you, so super max. No free cells for you, and you're my confidential informant, so super max, I guess. I'm not quite sure how we've got in the situation where we don't have enough free cells for everybody. I guess moving people into different ends of the prison has definitely messed things up a little bit. But this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted from Solitary. Let's just get the metal floors in there. So a bunch of metal flooring in there. Then we can do the same in all the rest of the spaces. We have nothing worth exporting over there. We have a little bit lying around, but just nothing worth exporting. But we'll get the metal floors in there, and that'll be Solitary finished. Oh, no, this is interesting. Simon Jones's chance of clemency has actually dropped a little bit. We're down to 17% on Mr. Jones. Huh. All right. So I guess there's probably going to be another hearing at some point, and I guess during that hearing, the chance may very well drop even further. So in future, Simon Jones may very well end up getting executed. I get the feeling I really shouldn't have sold off a bunch of the shares of the prison. I feel like that's what may be causing some of the issues, just a little bit. And to buy the shares back, I need 189,000. That is... yeah, that's a lot. That is an awful lot right there. So I don't think we're going to be buying those back anytime soon. The good news is, though, Solitary's done. Like 100% done up here. We have people being brought in. They're all going to their different cells. Apparently something happened in Supermax. Good lord. What did you even do? What are you in here for? Experience, destruction, attacked prisoners, staff, murder? Who was murdered? Good lord, you're an informant? All right. Let's look at intelligence actually and see. So you are a potential CI. So you can be an informant. But let's have a look and make sure we don't have anyone that shouldn't be in here. Fearless, strong, extremely strong. A bunch of confidential informants just in one room there. Interesting. That is, I'm sure that's a fun conversation. You know, like they're all gonna be trying to outdo each other and find things out. Hey, did you see anything weird going on here last night? No, why are you asking? While you're asking, did you see anything weird going on in here last night? No, why are you asking?
Why would you accuse me? Speaking of which, did you see anything weird going on in here last night?
It's just a circle of that.
How dare you accuse me of doing something weird? Were you doing something weird? I'm just asking.
Just constantly. That's pretty much what it is.
Hey, who's your guy? Smuggle stuff in. I don't smuggle stuff in. Do you smuggle stuff in? Hey, don't you accuse me of smuggling stuff in. Are you smuggling stuff in?
Oh, God. Oh, that's rough on my voice right now, but that's fun. Oh, boy. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is gonna be it. And I don't just mean for this episode, I think that's gonna be it for this prison and for Prison Architect for the time being. I will do escape mode on this one, and if I can, I will put the save file up for download in the Steam Workshop or something like that. So if you want to continue the prison, if you want to expand it, if you want to see what happens to Simon Jones in Death Row, you absolutely can. I feel like I've done everything there is to do right now. There are obviously a few little goals we could set, you know, try and buy back the shares or try and do this, but we've built everything. We have a part of the prison for everybody. The danger level has gone down a little bit, and this episode and the last one were both a little bit longer than the previous ones, so I figure at this point we've done everything there is to do. We've built a pretty decent looking prison. It's flowing relatively well. We're never really going to run out of money because we can just sell trees anyway. But thank you very, very much for watching. If you've got any suggestions for other games you'd like to see in the channel, throw them in the comments, tweet them at me. That's twitter.com/ConflictNerd. You can tweet your suggestions to me. I'm always on Twitter. You can leave them in the suggestions channel on my Discord server at discord.gg/conflictnerd. All of the social links are in the description of every single video, and I do encourage you to at least follow one of them, be it Discord or Twitter or the like. It is a really good way for me to let people know what's going on, including days when there aren't videos when there should be. I post my weekly schedule every week as well, so you can know when videos are going to be out. It's just social media. For me, it's such a big thing. So, you know, if you're interested, they're there. But for the most part, just let me know what you'd like to see on the channel in the near future. I know that I'm kind of excited about playing some Hitman 2 and some Just Cause 4, and there's so much. There's so much I want to play. I know that Stellaris has an expansion either coming out soon or out already. I got to play Imperator Rome recently, so I'm going to be talking about that very soon. Basically, there's a lot of really exciting games I'm really excited about. So let me know. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. It really has been my pleasure, as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.